Hey there, everyone out there in our 8 weeks group. Hello, Fit Family. This is Tania Gustafson, your nutritionist and fitness coach. Welcome to another episode of our Fit Nutrition podcast. Great to have you all joining me here today. Please let me know if you're watching live or if you're watching on the replay. And thanks again for always popping in and checking out the content and leaving your comments, because I love to hear what everyone's having to say. And just the engagement is really great, because I get to know where you're at and what you want more of. So if there's something that you want more of, you want to see something, you want to talk about something, please also drop that in the comments. Or if you're not comfortable there, you can feel free to message me personally over Messenger, and I will check that out. And I love to have your suggestions. Okay, so today, just checking to make sure that we are streaming totally. Everything's going well here. All right, this is good. So today we're going to talk about is food holding you hostage? Because sometimes it might feel that way. And this conversation came up with some coaches and myself the other day, and talking about, with our clients. And it's just that whole angst and that upset and that just fear around food is a real thing for a lot of people. And just feeling that they have no control over making the choice of what they eat or what they don't eat. And I was talking to a client the other day, and he was saying that, he seems to be fine during the day. And then all of a sudden, later in the day, he's just, like he'll sit down and eat a whole liter of ice cream. And he just says, I just can't help it. I just, keeps going and going and going. And his thought was, and he's trying to think it through, which I was really impressed with that. He was trying to figure out why that's happening. And he was saying, well, perhaps I'm not eating enough during the day and it's catching up with me. So we're going to touch on that, because he's got something there. But the other thing that I wanted to say is that, a lot of people believe that it's just a matter of willpower. I just have to buckle down. I just have to be better. I just have to be stronger. Or there's something wrong with me. How come everybody else can do it and I can't? And the thing is that you might have to, if this is you, first of all, just take a step back and just know that, there's nothing wrong with you. Okay. And those other people don't have superpower willpower, and you don't. They are just doing something, whether they know it or not. If they're not getting cravings, they're doing something that serves their body, and giving their body what it needs. When our body does not have what it needs, it craves. Okay, so if you put your body into a state where it's deficient in something, or where it's not balanced, or where it's highly stressed, your body's going to the hormones are going to go out of balance. And when hormones go out of balance, the house of cards comes crashing down, because our hormones control all the stuff that goes on with us. And that leptin and ghrelin hormones, those are those little guys, one controls how much, it says, okay, it's time to eat. Go eat, go eat, go eat, right? That's the ghrelin. Think of the Gremlins. Remember that Gremlin movie? It's like, I know, funny image, right? Those are the ones that are telling you, hey, it's time to eat. And so when we ignore that guy, he doesn't get very happy, and we have those cravings, and because our blood sugar starts to go unstable. And when we do that too often, the other guy, the leptin guy that tells us, hey, it's time to stop eating, you're full, those two, they kind of go out of balance, and it gets turned off. So now you are thinking, well, I don't know what's wrong with me, because why can't I stop? Why am I craving this? And why am I eating? And I just can't stop. Right? And, or like, how come every day I'm craving this? Or how come some days I'm craving and some days I'm not? And you're just feeling like that you have no control over this situation because it's so random. So if this is resonating with anybody, if this has happened to you before, if this is currently happening, drop a little 1 down below, because I'm sure we've all had this happen at one time or another. Now, for those of us who've been living PFC, living the fit life for a long time, or even just if you just started and you're getting the hang of it, you're seeing how balancing your blood sugar can really play a role in helping to put all these things back in line. And then there's also that piece of the mindset, right? We have to really get away from beating ourselves up over oh, well, you're just not good enough. And, everybody else can do it. How come you can't do it? And what's wrong with you? And we say these things to ourselves over and over again. It gets that little hamster wheel. It's going and going and going. I call it the peanut gallery. Peanut gallery's on your shoulder, and they're cracking those things coming at you round and round and round. And sometimes it just keeps going and going. And that spiral kind of, it can drive you crazy if you let it. So don't let it do that, but just be aware that that's what will happen. It's a physiological response in your body with the craving, with the hormones going out of balance. It's a physiological response in your body to crave when you're deficient or when you're out of balance or when stress comes on. So knowing those things, now that takes the weight off of all that weight off your mind, thinking, what's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you, because that is the normal response for everybody on the planet when those things are not in line. So, you put 10 people in a room and you put 5 people that are well nourished and had some PFC meals that they right before they walked in. They've had lots of water that day. They're well rested. Their stress is really low. And you put chocolate out there or their favorite treat, and they'll be like, oh, look at that. That's really nice. They've offered it. And I don't know. I just ate, so maybe I'll wait for a bit. Or, oh, that'd be really nice. I think I might like to have that. Or, yeah, no, I think I don't know. I just don't feel like it today. There's going to be all those kind of responses. Opposite of if you bring the other 5 people into the room and, they've skipped breakfast, they worked through lunch, they hit the ground running in the morning, they had a terrible sleep, they've been living on coffee, their work pile is like this on their desk, so their stress level is way up here. And now you bring out all their favorite goodies and treats, all the sugary stuff that might be one of their favorites. Even if it's not their favorite, you bring out some sugary snacks and they're going to be like, oh man, right now I need that because my energy is just going to, is tanking so badly. I need this to get through the rest of my day. They're not even thinking about, do I like it or not? It's a physiological response. Your blood sugar is low. Your body sees something. It wants to stop eating its own muscle. Because if you're not fueling your body, it's going to eat its own muscle. It needs a source to turn to glucose to send up to the brain. So when your eyes see a source of glucose, right, anything that's really highly processed or sugar or alcohol, whatever it happens to be, it's going to say, yes, have that right now. Then I can stop eating my own muscle. I'm going to bring my blood sugar up. The problem with that is we know what happens when we eat all those highly processed things and we're not well nourished before. Our blood sugar goes straight up, so we feel better for a moment in time, but then it comes crashing right down, right? Did you ever notice that, say you're at work? I used to work in a bank and I worked in a school many years ago. And right around this time of year, at the end of the year, all of the well-meaning parents would bring in home-baked treats or a box of donuts from Tim Hortons or Timbits for the classroom or things like that. They're just saying thank you. They're not trying to sabotage anybody's health goals. They're not trying to make people crazy or anything like that. They're just trying to be nice, right? So these things come in, and if you've skipped lunch or you worked late and you missed that lunch or you didn't bring your afternoon snack, and now the end of the day is coming and you're starting to feel a little peckish, I'm starting, it's time for me to eat again, and you grab that sugary donut on the way out the door and eat that in the car. Yes, you've got a little bit of energy. Great. I can go pick up my kids. I can drop them off and I get home and I'm just like, whew, now I'm feeling like I'm crashing. I need to have a nap before I can even make dinner. It's very short-lived. It's a short window of gratification. And it's really not even all that gratifying because you didn't have control over what you chose to eat, right? You weren't choosing something that would fuel and nourish your body. You were choosing something that just got the blood sugar up temporarily. And now it's an entirely different story when you're like the group of, that first 5 people where you keep your body nourished and balanced throughout the day and well hydrated and all those things. And then that donut shows up and you're like, heck, I haven't had one for ages. And that used to be my favorite. I'm going to have one of those. You go into that after you're well nourished, you minimize the carnage. You're still going to get a bit of a blood sugar spike, but not like this. You're going to get, a blip in the radar and it's going to come back on track because you're continuously fueling your body, and your hormones are staying balanced. They're staying within that range. They might have popped up just a smidge, but they're going to come back into that range. So you're not going to get that out of control feeling, where the food is controlling you, where it's like, one of those movies where things are spinning round and round and you're like, oh no, what do I do now? I know that's the way the brain can make you feel, right? You can just feel like you're lost in that and that you have no control over yourself. And that's a really upsetting and unsettling feeling, right? To not be in control of what you're choosing to put into your body. So the message of this is, if you're feeling ever out of control and that the food is controlling you, just know that, yes, it probably was at that moment, only because it was missing something. Your body's giving you messages and signals. And when it gives you these things, we have to listen to them because they're speaking to us. Our body's speaking to us in a way that, that if we listen to it, it's going to serve us in the long run. If we don't listen to it, those signals get all messed up, and then we get all messed up because our body is not behaving. Our body and our brain are at a disconnect. That also then creates dysbiosis in our gut. And we've talked about gut health before, right? And you probably heard me referred to Dr. Sean Talbot and Dr. Anna Toker and all these experts that talk about the gut health, because it's super, super important to have that part of your body working well. And when we've ignored those other signals and we've, let the food control us for any length of time, trust me, you've created some dysbiosis in the gut. So we need to backtrack, go back, think about how can I fuel my body, not just what can I put in that stomach bucket for this moment. So fueling means your proteins, your fats, your carbs together in those right portions, in those right frequencies throughout the day, those small meals. Think protein, trust me, you're always, I would say 9 times out of 10, people are always going to get the carbs. Most of the time they're going to get the fat. But for whatever reason, we tend to be a little shy on the protein. So always think protein first. Where am I going to get that? What am I going to have? And make sure that you're having that frequently throughout the day, along with your carbs and your fat. And that will keep you in control of what you put in your mouth. And that's going to, bring that stress level down. It's going to make you feel more energized. It's going to turn your metabolism back on. You're going to keep a comfortable weight, or you're going to be able to release weight and fat so you can get to that comfortable weight. And you're just going to feel so good because you're in control. So I hope that helped you today. If you got some nuggets out of this, drop some in the comments below, because I'd love to hear what you have to say. And please come back again next Wednesday, same time, same place, right here in the group for Fit Nutrition Podcast. Have an awesome rest of your day.